It is nightfall at Collinwood, and the great mansion lies quietly under a gleaming moon. Beneath its radiance, the old house hides dangerous secrets. Secrets a young man is attempting to learn. He is under the spell of an evil woman, and because he cannot break her hold over him, he must secretly learn how to complete a terrifying experiment.
Who's there? It was just my imagination. The house is empty. Julia said she'd be gone for at least an hour. This is it. This is the information I need. The way Lang intended to make Adam live. The amount of voltage through the cathodes. Oh, I've got to remember. This. That girl. It's because of her. Because she's forcing me to do it. Why does she have such a hold over me? Oh, I've asked myself that question 1,000 times. I only know she does. But if Barnabas or Julia were to find out what I'm doing,
Jeff! What are you doing with my notebook? Now, answer my question. What are you doing with it?
well, I just wanted to learn more about the experiment, that's all.
Why do you want to know more about the experiment?
Because,
Why?
because of Vicky.
Vicky?
Look, the only reason I'm helping you in this is because Vicky's life is at stake. If anything happens to you, then I'll be the only one who can complete the experiment. So I figured I should know as much as I can about the whole thing.
Nothing is going to happen to me.
Well, I don't think it will. But you were ill before. It could happen again.
It won't. And you know all you need to know about the experiment.
Do I?
Yes. And this book is my property. You might have asked permission to see it.
I didn't think that you would have minded.
Well, I do.
Julia,
Yes?
I know that you found a life force to bring Adam to life, and I know that Barnabas provided it.
And what about it?
Well, who are you planning on using for the life force to bring her alive?
I don't know that yet.
What's going to happen to the girl that you use?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. If I weren't, I wouldn't go through with it.
According to Lang's journals.
Barnabas might have died, but he didn't die.
Well, you must have done something to prevent it. What was it?
Why are you asking all these questions?
Oh, it's just normal curiosity.
Don't be so curious, Jeff. The less you know about this experiment, the better it is for everyone, including you. You're only here to help me set up the apparatus. That is all.
Well, I understand that.
That must be Barnabas. As long as you're here, would you mind working on the wiring that you started doing this morning?
Sure, I'd be glad to. She suspects me now. I've got to be careful. Very careful.
Barnabas.
Julia, I'm puzzled.
Why?
Terribly puzzled.
Why?
I've just come from Collinsport.
What happened?
Nothing has happened. That's what's wrong.
I don't understand.
Well, I expected to hear of attacks, but there haven't been any.
Well, Barnabas, I'm glad there haven't been any attacks.
So am I. But someone attacked Tom Jennings, and we know what that someone was.
Yes.
Why hasn't he attacked anyone else?
Don't know.
Doesn't make sense. I'm still convinced that Nicholas Blair has something to do with this.
So am I. But Willie's been watching his house. And Willie says that nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Barnabas, perhaps we should stop worrying about this. Perhaps the danger ended when you destroyed Tom Jennings.
No, Julia. I still sense something's wrong.
We can't do any more than we've been doing.
I know. But I promise you, Julia, we've only seen the beginning of this. Somewhere another vampire exists. Somewhere very close to us. And yet, where is he? Where?
Barnabas,
Yes?
something just happened that troubles me.
What?
Well, I found Jeff Clark reading my notebook.
Why was he doing that?
Well, he said he wanted to learn all about the experiment so that if anything happened to me, he could go on with it, but I'm not convinced that he was telling the truth.
Well, that seems a sensible explanation.
Yes, it does.
I'm not overly fond of Clark, but I do believe that he wants the experiment to succeed. He knows that Vicky is in danger.
Yes, but for some reason, I don't trust Jeff Clark as much as I used to.
Why not?
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I'll get it. Vicky.
Hello, Julia. Is Barnabas here?
Yes, come in.
Hello, Vicky.
Hello, Barnabas. Professor Stokes just phoned. He's on his way up here, and he wanted to see you. It's very important.
Really?
Yes, he wanted me to come down and make sure that you'd be here. He was afraid he might miss you.
I can't imagine what he wants to see me about.
He says it's very important.
Well, thank you for delivering the message, Vicky.
That's all right. Actually, Julia, I'd like to talk to you.
To me?
Yes. Barnabas, would you mind leaving us alone for a few moments?
Of course not. I'll be downstairs.
Well, what is it, Vicky?
It's about Jeff.
Well, what about him?
Julia, you know his medical history. Is he?
Is he all right? Yes. He may never remember his past, but physically, he's perfectly healthy, if that's what you want to know.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
He's been behaving behaving very strangely lately. I thought maybe he was sick and he didn't want to tell me.
No, he's fine.
Then what's wrong with him? I'm so worried.
Clark, where are you going?
I was just going upstairs to ask Julia something.
Well, I wouldn't go up there if I were you. Vicky's up there.
Vicky?
Yes. Now, you wouldn't want her to know that you're in this house, would you?
No. What's she doing here?
She came to deliver a message.
Well, I'm surprised you're not up there.
Well, actually, she wanted to see Julia. Alone.
About what?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I think I know.
Clark, come back here.
Don't worry. She won't see me. I just want to hear what she's saying.
Roger offered him a wonderful job and he turned it down.
And he didn't give any reason?
He said he was busy. Busy doing what?
I don't know.
Julia, he hasn't had a steady job since he worked for Dr. Lang, and that was months ago.
Yes, I know.
And why did he turn this down? Julia, it would have meant that we could have gotten married sooner.
Vicky, knowing Jeff as I do, I'm sure he had a good reason.
What reason could he have unless he's disturbed about something? And you say he isn't.
No, he isn't.
Well, then maybe he's having second thoughts about me and about getting married.
No, I know he isn't.
How do you know?
I'm convinced that he loves you.
I wish I were. I think I'm right. I think he wants to delay the marriage.
Oh, Vicky.
Julia, I'm so unhappy.
Come, Vicky. I'll go back to Collinwood with you.
All right.
Vicky, if only I could go to you, put my arms around you and tell you everything's all right. But I can't. I can't.
Adam has disappeared.
Yes, he disappeared from his hiding place last night. He left a note, a most disturbing note.
What did the note say?
Barnabas?
Mr. Clark,
Professor Stokes?
I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, Clark is helping us with the experiment.
Really?
Yes, he found out about it, so he decided to help us for Vicky's sake.
It was very wise of you, Mr. Clark.
I wonder. Barnabas, I'm leading.
Wait a minute, Mr. Clark.
What for?
Something has happened. Since you're involved in this, I think you ought to know about it.
Look, I can't really talk about the experiment now. I have a date with Vicky, and I'm late.
This concerns Miss Winters.
In what way?
Adam has disappeared.
And his disappearance places Miss Winters in great danger. Greater danger than ever before.
I don't understand.
Let me explain it to you. While Adam was hidden, something unfortunate happened. Something most unfortunate. He fell in love.
In love?
Yes, with Carolyn Stoddard.
What?
They spent a great deal of time together. Adam became emotionally obsessed with Miss Stoddard.
So Carolyn was hiding him, even though she denied it.
Yes?
Where?
What does it matter?
I want to know.
What difference does it make where he was? He's not there any longer.
You won't tell me because you're afraid that if he comes back, I'll know where to find him.
All this is beside the point. The point is that Adam fell in love with Carolyn Stoddard and she was forced to reject him. When he disappeared, he'd left a note. The tone of the note was curt and abrupt. It said simply, "You don't want me. Goodbye."
What has all this got to do with Vicky?
He threatened to kill Victoria Winters.
Well, he knows that we're working on the experiment.
Yes, and it was enough to pacify him. Until now.
What do you mean?
I know Adam. He's only driven to acts of violence when he feels rejected. And he's just experienced the cruelest rejection a man can undergo. He's been rejected by the woman he loves.
Does that mean that he'll try to harm Vicky?
His mood is dark and violent. He might strike out at anyone, at any time. And he has said his first victim will be Victoria Winters.
Before he does that, he will come here first to find out how the experiment is progressing.
Yes, and if we haven't done enough on the experiment, he'll hurt Vicky.
Give Adam what he wants. Finish the experiment as quickly as possible. It's the only way to pacify him.
Look, we're already working as hard as we can.
Work harder. I would suggest you work around the clock, you and Dr. Hoffman.
How am I supposed to explain all this to Vicky?
One tick of the clock may mean the difference between life and death for your fiancé. I'd think about that if I were you.
Vicky, I want to go out with you tonight more than anything else in the world. You've got to believe that.
But you can't.
Look, the reason why I can't hasn't got anything to do with how I feel about you. It's...
All right, Jeff.
Hey, what does all right mean?
It means that I'm not going to ask you for an explanation because I don't expect to get one.
Vicky, look, you've got to trust me and you've got to believe in me.
You put everything on that basis, and it just isn't fair.
Well, it's... I know, but that's the way it has to be.
Is it?
Vicky, I'm sorry. Look, I've got to leave.
Jeff,
Yes.
do you think you could give me 3 minutes of your time?
Look, don't say it like that.
Well, if you could. Will you come in there? Jeff, look at me. Do you still love me?
Oh, you know I do.
Why can't you tell me what's happening? Why can't you tell me why you turned down Roger's offer?
It just came at the wrong time, that's all.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that I can't leave Collinsport now. Maybe a week or two I can, but I can't leave now.
All right. I'll try and accept that. But why haven't we seen each other? Why have you been staying away from me?
Vicky, I had to. I've been busy.
Doing what?
Well,
You can't answer.
No, I can't.
Do you not want to marry me? Is that it?
Oh, I want to marry you more than anything else in the world.
Then why are you behaving like this? You know that you could tell me anything and I would try and understand, but you've got to tell me something.
Vicky, I'd explain everything if I could. But I can't.
And it's no use.
Hey, come on, what's no use?
Us? Our engagement?
Vicky,
I could never marry a man who kept secrets from me.
look, I don't want to keep any
But
secrets.
you do. And if that went on after we were married, I would stop loving you.
It's not going to go on after we're married.
No, it's not, because we're not going to get married, not the way things are now.
Vicky, don't say that. I love you very much.
But you don't trust me.
Yes, I do. It isn't that.
Here.
Vicky.
I can't talk anymore. There's nothing to say.
Vicky. Vicky, please. Please. Vicky, if I could only tell you the truth. If I could only tell you I'm doing this for you. But I can't. And you can't understand. Maybe you'll never understand. Maybe I really have lost you. Forever.
Well, Julia,
The body is almost completed.
when will it be completed?
Tomorrow.
Then we can start with the experiment.
Yes. If we're successful, this creature will be a living human being.